A very warm good morning and good afternoon to all of you, depending upon the time zone you're in. I'm really happy to welcome you in Enalito's e-commerce growth hack summit 2020. I'm really happy to have three unique leaders in the field of retail and e-commerce today with us, who are going to share some amazing insights and stories about their brand and how they have successfully grown their brand. And the next 60 minutes, we'll have a free flowing conversation about what they think about their business and how they are adding value to the community and how they are changing the world. Without further ado, let me kind of do a formal introduction of our panelists this afternoon. Let me begin with Paige. Paige Chilson, she's the VP of e-commerce at HANDL New York. Paige has done her BA and BS in business administration with a minor in marketing from High Point University. She has a distinction in French from high school, and her brand, Handle New York, sleek smartphone cases and grips are essential for taking the perfect selfies or video. They have a patented technology for their product, and the multifunctional grip that they have developed offers a kickstand that works in both landscape mode and portrait mode. Handle allows you to use your phone more securely with a tight and effortless grip. We'll learn more about what Paige does. Paige, welcome to the panel discussion.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. The next we have on the panel with us is Adele Nazar. Adele is the CMO at Avanton Bicycles. Adele has done a BS in psychology from California State University, and she has worked previously as a financial associate for Citibank and Wells Fargo. She knows Arabic and Spanish, and her specialties include marketing strategy, integrated marketing, and brand development. And we would love to learn more about what Adele is doing. Adele, welcome to the panel discussion.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here today.
Wonderful. Next, we have Tina Cheng. Tina is the founder and CEO of Capsule Jewelry. Capsule Jewelry is a tech-enabled premium customized jewelry company. Prior to Capsule, Tina was the COO of Coordinates Collection. She was also the regional director, the CEO for Gigocity. She was a VP of Capital Markets at Realty Capital Partners in the past. Tina has a BS degree in civil engineering from University of California, and she has done her MBA from USC Marshall School of Business. She is a serial entrepreneur and a C-level executive. And Tina has tremendous experience in the field of retail. Tina, welcome to the panel this afternoon.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Wonderful. Thank you so much once again. I would like to ask this first question to all three of you is your purpose, your brand's purpose. Most important, that's the stepping stone. So I would like to begin with let me start with Tina. Your purpose, your mission for the brand.
Yes, I really started Capsule having been in the jewelry industry at my last position for some time, realizing that, jewelry is actually a very massive, but very antiquated industry. And unbeknownst to most, it's actually very toxic in its production process, both in its material and manufacturing process. So I had wanted to set out to start a brand that is eco-friendly and premium, uses technology to allow you to easily customize and create jewelry that is personal to you, not only beautiful, but it's meaningful to you, that you can customize your own unique handwriting or more of a special date. And we've taken that, step above to develop a computer vision app that allows you to capture your memory by scanning the jewelry, and it'll play back a memory clip. And so I'm really innovating on a very, antiquated industry. But one of my primary mission, though, is realizing that the jewelry industry is 90% male dominated, from supply chain to ownership to designer. So I, had felt very passionate about women running women-specific businesses, and that's why I started Capsule.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a great story, and that's a great purpose that you have there, and how you are kind of integrating technology to take it to the next level. That's commendable. We'll touch base upon that in a short while.
Yeah.
Let me go to Adele. Adele, what is the purpose of Aventon bicycles, if you can share?
Yes, thank you, Kuldeep. Aventon is the brand that we would like to be able to provide bikes to everyone, make it accessible for everyone to ride bikes. And the brand was started, almost 8 years ago with that mission, is to create a high quality bike at a great value for accessibility to all. And the brand has seen an evolution over the last 8 years, now predominantly focused in the e-bike space, which then allows more and more people to ride bikes of every, physicality, age. And we're really excited to be able to offer a product that we feel really good about and to ship it direct to consumer, which is also still a fairly new concept in the e-bike space, only a few years old, to literally send an entire bike to your front door. And our mission is really about creating products that allow people to ride longer, further, and be able to ride with, at, like I said, any age or physicality. And we're seeing that. We get great stories from our customers telling us how it's changed their life. They're now 70, 80 years old and able to ride the bike, and they're healthier, and they can ride with their significant other and family. And so for us, it's always been our mission to create a product that is accessible. And then beyond that, the eco-friendly, energy efficiency factor of it, and, helping people reduce their carbon footprint, being able to replace your car or other modes of transportation with an e-bike is a mission that's dear to us as well. And so that is something that, we hope to bring to the United States. It's a little bit new for the US. In China, in other parts of the world, in South America and Europe, e-bikes are a lot more popular and people use them as a mode of transportation. We're a bit behind here, but we're hoping to catch up in the next, 5 years or so. And the evolution of e-bikes in the United States is happening very quickly. With the pandemic, there was a bike boom that occurred. People wanted alternate ways to travel that was safer rather than using, public transit, for example. This is your own bike, who's been on it, and it's safer to get around. So that's been a very core, integral part of the brand and the evolution of the brand and our goals for the future.
Oh, that's excellent. I mean, I think as a product, it's such an important, bicycle is a tool for mind. I've always believed that. And I think it's kind of, you're enabling it. And with technology, you are helping it to take it to the next level, because I think people are now becoming more conscious in terms of what they're doing, whether it's travel or the things that they do. And I think having a great product, what you have built, can really make a difference there. Thank you so much. Let me come to Paige. Your brand's purpose and mission.
Yeah, for sure. So we touch our phones 2,500 times a day. That is a lot and probably hard for some folks to admit. Probably more so now with the pandemic. A lot of people have gotten really deep into social media, have started their own brands on social media, have just used it as a way to sort of help them through this really troubling time. So we created, Handle was created by an artist who was in need of holding his phone while he was painting. The first handle was actually created with popsicle sticks. There's some awesome photos of the original up on our site if you want to check it out. But really brought out of this need to have an easier way to hold your phone, as well as keep it by your side as you're doing lots of different things. I currently have it right here next to me in stand mode, which is really helpful. You can also clip it to your computer, makes it easier to do calls like this if you have pinging people, constantly reaching out to you. And really what we wanted to create is a product that not only brings that functionality to your life, but is also fashionable. There's a lot of players in this space, and we believe we're bringing fashion and function to your phone, something you're not afraid to go into a business meeting, set it down, You don't have some pink kind of girly, shiny looking thing displayed as you're in a business meeting. So really our mission is to bring those two things together and hopefully make your life easier as you use your phone as an extension of your own hand.
Wow, that's amazing. I think so. You have design is at the foundation of your business, and that's amazing because I think it's such an important thing that often gets overlooked. And I think you found a problem and you're solving it. That's amazing. My next question to all of you is uh, establishing a business is one thing, and taking it to the next level takes a lot of efforts and a lot of deep diving in understanding the consumer behavior and their persona, what they are looking for. Uh, so, how do you guys use technology for making sure that when a consumer discovers your brand, how do you help him in getting that experience, the personalization experience when they're coming on your store? Probably if you have, let's say, a significant size of SKUs on your store, how do your store help them in finding the right product? Do you guys use any personalization technology, or how do you help your consumers? Maybe let me go to Tina.
Yes, so actually as a customized jewelry company, that's very key for us to come up to help handhold our customers, because it's not as easy as say like buying a t-shirt or just picking a size, style, and color. Our customization is actually quite involved in the sense that you not only pick material, color, but the type of customization you want in terms of like uploading, handwriting, or a memory clip. So we had recently actually just implemented an AI-powered chatbot, which is a gift concierge that lives on our website called Cat. And so you can interact with it. It's designed to be like conversational driven. So it first starts by asking, who are you shopping for? Who is this gift for? What occasion is it? What is your style? So it does actually use a lot of algorithm to drive product recommendation, and it's been great. The feedback so far has been really wonderful, and it's this is kind of where we're heading. Where before we used to use a lot of data, like postmortem, to analyze what our consumer likes, but now we're being a little bit more proactive using AI technology to guess and guide our customers into their decision-making process.
Wow, that's great. So you're using technology to the fullest in order to help the end consumers, and I think that every interaction you are making that experience personalized. That's good. It's amazing work. Let me go to Adele. Adele, since you are in a very unique vertical, how do you help your consumers when they discover about your brand? Like when someone wants to buy a bicycle, definitely even in e-bicycles, there can be different varieties or options available. How do you help your consumers?
Yes, e-bikes are still fairly new. A lot of people don't realize what an e-bike is, an electric bike. So there's a lot of education that is occurring in the space. And for us, it's been our mission to ensure there's a lot of content that is unique to the brand. So we're focused on writing entirely new pieces of content on a weekly basis. And we dedicate 1 day a week to send out educational content to our entire database so that they're constantly learning about the brand, they're engaging with the products, but also for those that are still wanting to, research, they can read those pieces of content and understand what is the right bike for them. Why would they choose this bike versus another? Which class of bike is best for them depending on the riding style? So there's a lot of variables to it. And then also understanding the state laws around e-bikes, which are evolving very rapidly as e-bikes become more and more popular. So there's quite a lot of education, and for us, content has been the key to ensuring that our audience is being educated, and then also understanding the audience. Data is king, and we're constantly looking at the data and trying to make decisions and optimizations based off of that data to give the consumer experiences that are more relevant based on their behavior. And so you will see our site evolve regularly. We're changing constantly. We're testing and trying to understand what's going to ultimately resonate with the consumer and help solve those problems or sticky points that may exist.
Wonderful. That's great. So you are kind of product education is kind of very important for your brand, and I think that's how you are able to kind of helping the consumers in getting a chance to learn what exactly is the significance of an e-bike. So that's cool. That's super amazing. Let me go to Paige. Paige, how do you incorporate technology on your store, or probably how do you help your consumers?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's sort of three different things as we think about using technology to connect with customers. So, I agree with Adele, data is king, right? Understanding all about your consumer, how they're engaging with the site is extremely important.
Yeah.
My background, I came out of Wayfair in an NBC Universal company, and that both of those had deep data ties, every decision made with data. So that's really, truly what I believe, helps us understand our consumer. And sort of what I like to also think about is reading between the lines there as well. There's some really great information you can understand about your customer that has absolutely nothing to do with your own site or what they do on your site. You can learn a lot about what their interests are that can really help you understand, how do I make this product better? How do I reach these folks in different spaces that maybe don't necessarily include a Google search for mobile phone accessories, right?
Right.
Going back to content, we make a lot of different content that is not necessarily centered around, oh, here's this great product and here's what it can do, but how are you living your life with this product? How can we show you in these variable settings that you already are familiar with and sort of bring that to life with our product right by your side? The other thing that I think is extremely important when, understanding your customer is to have that personal touch. So I always like to tell people, if you're reaching out to Handle and you're having a discussion with someone within our chatbot, or within our email, our customer service email, you are talking to me.
Wow.
So making sure that, you're actually going through and having these conversations with folks. What do they understand about the product? What don't they understand? What's the question you get constantly? What are they asking for? I spend a lot of time talking consumers through, hey, what styles are available and what can you help me sort of come up with and curate for me? So making sure that you're sort of running the gamut between understanding data as well as having those one-to-one conversations is an invaluable way to connect with the customer.
Wow, that's a very, very significant insight, because I think that's like having that personal conversation with your end consumers, because I think the consumers are running the show, because I think the consumers might come up with an idea that the brand may have never thought of. So that's amazing. I think you're capturing them and kind of learning from their feedback and inputs. Excellent. Wow. My next question for all of you is, after you have built your brand, what marketing strategies have you adopted for growing your brand from, let's say, X to 10X, I mean, in the last couple of years? And what are your plans in terms of innovating in the field of marketing for the next 1 or 2 years? Like maybe what you have done in the past and what you're planning to do in terms of marketing for the next couple of years. Maybe let me go to Adele.
Yeah, that's a great question. We actually, during the start of the pandemic, we had a tough decision to make. Do we double down on marketing and really go big and see what happens, or do we pull back? Because we were unsure of what was happening in the marketplace. And so for us, it's been a big shift into increasing our spend levels and having a much more omni-channel approach and ensuring that we are showing up where the consumers are, right? So having that presence across all the different channels through, social, through email, through search, through even direct mail, postcards and so on. So it's been an evolution, but we took the risk to, more than 5x increase in spend in March, and we haven't looked back. And so for us, that has really helped solidify our position in the marketplace while the marketplace was going through this really big change. And so again, I want to go back to that idea of omni-channel. You know, what I like to say is that you want to have a surround sound experience for the consumer. So ensuring that as consumers are researching, especially for a product that is of high consideration, such as an e-bike, you want to have a surround sound. So you want to show up in multiple different channels, cross-channel, and ensure that that surround sound. So that's been a key differentiator for us this year in the evolution of our marketing strategy. And we're going to continue to level up on that strategy and enter new channels in 2021 that we're excited about, including TV and other channels that are very new to the e-bike space. You don't see a lot of e-bike brands doing that. So I'm excited to be able to do that. And I think that's really, again, going back to the consumer experience, there's a lot of noise out there, and ensuring that the consumer finds you at all levels of the consideration process is really important to the end result of getting them to purchase your product.
Wow. So you have a very thoughtful approach that you have taken there, and it's kind of very important because in the times that you are living in, it's turbulence, and I think letting the customer discover about your brand and that can be a key aspect. And I think what you're thinking, that's amazing. Good to know that. Let me go to
and I just want to add, sorry, one thing, you know, that I forgot to mention. The other shift that we've made this year because of the pandemic is to ensure that we're communicating with our consumers from a place of transparency and honesty. And so we have taken a lot of time and effort to be very vulnerable in what's happening with the industry and the state of the industry. And I think that has resonated really well with consumers, where other brands might hide behind some of the issues that are happening in the space. We've really communicated and over communicated. And that's the other thing too, that I think consumers really want from a brand. They want honest, transparent communication. And so that's been a foothold for us. And then of course, being able to do more in the industry with your marketing beyond just putting an ad up, but how can you, you know, take the brand reach and voice and amplify issues like, you know, the lack of PPE during the pandemic, the issues that exist in just donating to, you know, causes that are really important. So we really have focused on building this idea of the heart around Aventon and what it means to the consumers that are buying our products. And that has resonated tremendously this year in our marketing approach, shifting from a very strong ad strategy to more of a, here's all the things we're doing to support our community, and we would like you to be a part of this with us.
Wow, that's excellent. I mean, I must say that's a very, very great approach, because I think consumers ultimately, when you are having a human connection, because people love that. People are becoming more conscious these days. When they are buying a product, they look at the brands who are socially responsible and who are taking that leap of faith, or who are kind of leaders in helping the community. I think people love those brands. That's amazing. Good to know that. Let me go to Tina. Tina, what marketing strategies have you adopted in the past, and what are your plans for the future?
Yes. So yeah, I think at the beginning it's always hardest to go from like 0 to 1 million. So you know, the beginning stage, you're really like relying on the usual suspects, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. But for us, what's work is really like a you know, similar to what Dell's saying, a multi-channel strategy, and it's funnel, and it's really matching the messaging in different part of the consumer journey to each channel. So rather than, you know, just relying on one channel to do all of the hard lifting, some channels are better for top of the funnel brand discovery, and some channels are more like high intent, better for like remarketing, retention. So so it definitely is an omni-channel, you know, like experience for the consumer. I mean, I think usually, especially for higher AOV products, it really, you know, takes like 6 or 7 touch points for a consumer before they will convert. So I always say you can't expect to get married on the first date, you know, so you have to like really touch a person and, you know, first explain the value proposition, your unique competitive advantage, and then really build some, you know, social proof, press proof, overcoming objections, you know, later toward the lower funnel. And that's really worked for us in the past. Going forward, we want to actually do more organic content. As you know, when you scale, paid gets exponentially more expensive.
True.
And you're really relying on those like earned media through organic and press. So those are what we're looking to build in the next couple of years, as well as exploring some of the newer channels that I'm looking into, like TikTok. I heard has been phenomenal for the brands. So I'm looking to learn more about it.
Amazing. Wow. So that's a great approach, I must say. And especially for a brand like a vertical that you are in, I think jewelry, as you mentioned rightly, there's a long process, I think, right from the awareness stage till the final conversion. The consumers are constantly absorbing and kind of learning about the brand. And I think as they say in psychology, we do not have any connection with a particular product or with any brand. It's just how the brand makes you feel, whether that brand makes you take a pause, look at it, understand about the product. And that's when that conversion happens, because I think advertising is a great way to let to let the consumer discover about the product, but ultimately post that what happens defines whether the conversion can happen or not. So I think you have a very great unique approach there. Amazing.
Yeah, I think consumers in general are also moving toward more meaningful purchases versus just like very inexpensive fast fashion. So we're actually calling ourselves slow fashion. It's more considered purchase where it's not just about style and price point. So.
Yeah, right. That's amazing. Great. Let me go to Paige. What marketing strategies have you adopted in the past, and like what are your plans for the future?
Yeah, for sure. So this is Handle's first full year. Actually, we all started working on this intently in February. Great timing. And all of our product didn't really hit the shelves or the virtual shelves until June of this year. So it's been a lot of hitting the ground running on all this, especially when it comes to education with the customer. I think we all are doing this and have to figure out the right way to educate the customer and help them understand how this product can better improve their life. One thing we think that's really, really helpful is taking that omni-channel approach and getting the Handle in as many hands as possible. One way we've done that is we are partnering with some fairly large retailers. So we're in Target stores, Staples, we're in the paper store, we're in some experiential stores such as Beta, a metropolitan sort of technology store. You can go in and play around with different products. Retail, as we start to build our direct e-commerce site as well as Amazon. So making sure that we are in all places that people are to have people purchasing this product fairly simple entry price point starting at $9.99 allows people to test out the product. We've seen folks come back to us time and time again. Hey, loved this. I'm buying a Christmas gift. So making sure that we're getting in the hands of as many people as possible. I think future, we've spent some time, really doing the paid social. I think, definitely a very expensive venture as you start to scale that. But our goal is to use all of the data that we have about consumers over the past year to dig in and really find, appropriate strategy to reach new audiences or potentially surprising audiences that we maybe wouldn't have done if you would have set up those audiences back in March. So using all of the data we've got to really hit the ground running on that. I love the mention of TikTok. Are definitely a big video content brand, and our goal really in 2021, we've got to capture the hearts of our TikTok followers and really help them understand how wonderful our product can be for their content creation, or if they're just simply watching TikToks all day, like many folks have, it helps them hold their phone for much, much longer, and you can get further on your scroll with Handle.
Wow, so very, very thoughtful. I think so. what Adele has touched upon is product education, and Paige is kind of the multi-channel approach with a very presence. I think presence defines where the brand discovery can quickly happen. And ultimately, I think today's consumers is kind of uh, constantly switching between his iPhone, his iPad, his tablet, and then his laptop, and uh, Netflix, and like Amazon. And I think if you have a very, very strong presence across the mediums, I think great things can happen. I think that's amazing. I mean, this is a very great insight. My next question, which is kind of a follow-up for this, is what do you guys believe, like organic growth versus paid growth? Definitely, paid growth is essential in the beginning for making sure that we are able to capture that initial pool of people who get to know about the brand. But over a period of time, as it becomes costly, ultimately the organic growth, wherein the natural how people are discovering your brand through keywords. So what how exactly have you seen the trend? Like does organic contribute, let's say, 30%, and paid does 70% of traffic for you? How exactly it has been for you in the past, or so far maybe, for your business? Maybe let me go to Tina to begin.
So yeah, as I said in the beginning of the stage, it's going to be mostly paid because nobody has heard of your brand. So
Yeah.
I think a healthy metric to shoot for is 50-50, and that's
Okay.
our goal. Yeah,
Mhm.
right now I mean, we've improved significantly this year in our organic ranking. We actually did a little bit better than last year in terms of sales, but only on 40% of
Mhm.
total market spend. So I would say we're probably 70% paid, 30% organic search, organic
Uh-huh.
traffic, direct
Okay.
right now. But I think something healthy to shoot for, which is 50-50 is our goal.
Okay, that's oh, okay, a balanced approach. That's amazing. Good strategy. Yeah. How about you, Adele? What's your plan?
Yeah, the brand is over 8 years old now. And for us in the initial stages, it was building a product that was available to more people, and it amassed a cult following. Our fixed gear bikes had a cult following, and organic was a significant part of that. And that younger demographic that was riding the bikes really took to social and really helped us build the brand in that way. And so we were fortunate to have a much larger presence organically early on. Now, as we've pivoted to e-bikes in the last year, literally less than a year now, we are seeing a huge shift occur, and to bring e-bikes to the masses and to educate the consumers on something so different and unique and new, we've had to spend a lot more. So currently it's about a 20-80. So 20% organic, 80 paid. And I think that in general, having been
Mm-hmm.
in this industry for about 19 years now, that's a healthy marker for what I've experienced, especially when you're in the stages of growth. You
Yeah.
really need to continuously increase your spend on a monthly and an annual basis to align with the growth expectations you have for the year. So setting those goals early on, and then ensuring that you can back into them, building a marketing pro forma and really following through on that. And so that's why for us right now, paid is a significant part, and I'm okay with that because it's part of that education strategy. It's part of the showing the heart of the brand. It's really introducing the brand to a new set of audiences. Early on, the brand appealed to a younger demo. Now our
Mm-hmm.
demographic is much older. And so we're also having to spend more just to reach a much newer demographic that isn't necessarily a cult fan like the old, some of our older fans that have been with us for so long. So
Wow.
that's where we are today. And I think that evolution will continue for us on paid because we have plans to scale significantly in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So 2080. So that's a good approach as well. So depending upon, I think, the vertical, I'm trying to kind of just guess, like, I think it needs to be balanced. I think we need to
Exactly.
focus on channel which is working. So that's great. How about you, Paige? Which channels have worked best for you, or how do you see the traffic coming to your store?
Yeah, for sure. So I think 50-50 is where we've been. And I think probably where we'll go. My hope is that organic starts to grow a bit more as we start to have that word of mouth, start to really push. Hopefully we can all start hanging out a little bit more in the next few months, which I think will help even further, right? You see everybody with their phones in person mostly, because usually if you're on Zoom, you don't really get to see their phones. So,
Yeah.
Definitely going forward, we'd like to see that grow. We have to be very, very particular about our spend, particularly in social channels, Facebook, Instagram, because of the price point of our products, right? Our ASP is very much on the low end. And so we need to be really intentional about testing quickly, failing quickly, and pivoting. So, ultimately, we believe it's in our best interest to grow that organic side. But again, in that stage of we're brand new, people don't know what our product is, who we are. We do need to sort of invest in that long-term growth there.
Wow. Okay. So 50-50. Okay. So that's good. So I think depending upon the vertical, I can see a difference between organic versus paid. So that's a good approach. Yeah. Uh, my next question, while we are talking about consumer experience, I think today's consumers' behavior is so dynamic. And I think once you have acquired a certain number of customers over a period of time through organic or paid marketing, how do you plan on how is your retention metric? Like, do the consumers become your fan for lifetime, or like, because 10 out of 10 times, let's say if someone is offering a product, let's say if they are bought 5 times, uh, let's say 4 times, if you have given them the best product, they will not even come back to you and tell you that, oh, this is a great product. But that one experience, one bad experience, they will shoot you an email saying about the bad experience. So how do you plan on retaining your consumers? Because I think the higher the retention rate, the better it is for the brand, because then you don't have to do that additional spend in order to retain the same customers over and over again. So it's just a question that always come to my mind, because I have seen brands which are able to acquire like thousands of customers through paid marketing, but their retention rate is kind of a very, very low. And so how do you deal with that? Maybe let me go to Adele. I mean, if you can share some light there.
Yeah, this is a topic that's near and dear to me. We've been focused this year on building a best-in-class customer care team. We're very fortunate that our product does come with lots of great, warranties and coverage, because it is an electric bike. And so we do offer that to our customers. There's quite a bit of support that we add on even after post-purchase, right? And for us, ensuring the customer has access to our customer care team at any time is really integral to the success of our retention strategy. But also, we are in local bike shops across the US as well. Our products are sold there, and we have great partnerships with those local bike shops. And they're also a secondary support system to our customer. So that's been a really strategic and important part of our success and growth, to ensuring the customer knows you don't just buy an e-bike from us and then we disappear. We're going to be there for you along the way and support you and ensure that you have a great experience with the product. Beyond that, we've been very fortunate that our customers have had such tremendous experiences with the product. So UGC, user generated content, has been really, really powerful for us. And we've seen so much of that happening online, because the experience is an outdoor experience. It's a lifestyle experience. And so they're constantly sharing those experiences, the long rides they're having, how much more stamina they have because of it, how much longer they can ride, the weight loss journeys that they've had, just the journey of getting back on a bike after not riding for 20 years, or those that have had hip surgery or knee replacement that can ride our bike. We even have, people suffering from, illness that are also riding the bikes, MS and others, because it makes it easier to get on the bike. And so user generated content, people telling their own story, has been such a powerful piece to the retention component as well, because it helps reassure new customers that this brand is really there for their customer base, and they're not just selling a bike and disappearing. So those are the keys to our success in the retention space.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to come back to the UGC term, definitely.
Okay.
Let me go to Tina. Tina, how is your retention rate so far? is in the 50s, 60s? How it has been so far? More than that? I think you're on mute.
Hi. Yeah. So retention rate is obviously going to vary drastically by industry because obviously, you know, like say for a floral shop, the number of times flowers for people is going to be different from like say the number of times you buy a mattress. You know, so for jewelry, for high-end jewelry, our retention rate is in the low double digits, which I'm pretty happy with. And I think at this day and age, you really have to be intentional about your retention rates, like getting people to buy more, buy multiple times, and give people reasons to come back. You know, so what's worked for us is really like cross-selling between people who buy capsule for gifting versus self-purchase. Sometimes, you know, you buy something for yourself, you love it so much that you give it to your sister. So really cross pollinating between the intent of purchase and then obviously keeping, you know, your product mix always exciting and new product launches, you know, limited editions. You just, you know, constantly have to give people reasons to buy. And that actually, you know, goes back to the UGC that Adele talked about. We found that, you know, the more stories and the more ideas we share, the more sales we generate. For example, if we were to showcase somebody doing like a love dad signature from a Christmas card, then all of a sudden we would get like 20 love dad orders, you know, so the more ideas we give people on how to customize, then, you know, it gives people more reasons to purchase. And but the more innovative way that we're driving repeat purchases, you know, through our app. That's one of the reasons why we developed our app is really to make Capsule like a platform for aggregating your memories. So, you know, so for example, you know, you're uploading your memories this year for Christmas, maybe your 2020 year in review, it'd be all like pajamas and masks. I don't know. But, you know, we can prompt you next year, hey, time to upload your memories for, you know, 2021, or, you know, you're able to put in even your significant other's name and birthday, these milestone anniversaries, and we're able to to really prompt you into, you know, hey, time to customize and time to give another gift. So these are some of the ways that we're driving repeat purchase.
Wonderful, wonderful. So those gentle nudges or those interactions that you're trying to generate at different points, and that's amazing. I think I'm going to have a follow-up question on that. Let me go to Paige. Paige, I think people are buying smartphones more than ever. I think it's like it has become the sixth sense that everyone is having, and maybe we have an iPhone 12 now. I'm just hoping when the iPhone 100 will come, what will it be like? Will it be like a piece of glass? And so it's like technology is transitioning, and I think a case is like has become an industry in itself. So how has been your retention rate so far since you started?
Yeah, so you point out a great piece, right? Lucky for us, they change phones constantly, right?
Yeah.
But you know, what we've done is create a product that is not necessarily a case, but something you can add to any device. So the handle stick is our latest product, which attaches directly to the back of your case or phone, no matter what phone you have, which is really helpful in creating a product that people can love and use regardless of whatever device they have. You know, I know everybody talks a lot about iPhones, but folks who have Androids get left behind quite a bit. I hear from them a lot where they're like, does it work on an Android? Yes, it works on every single device. So making sure that we are not only creating a product that can withstand regardless of whatever new device comes out, but also that they have different auxiliary products that can work with the handle. So recently we've launched a clear case, which has an alignment guide, which helps folks instead of actually attaching to their phone, they can attach it to the clear case, either keep it on the case or swap out different handles based on their current aesthetic or design. You know, if you want to get festive during the holidays, you can put on a red, or if you want to switch to something cute and fun during the summer, you can switch to millennial pink. We also have created a car mount, which allows folks to place the handle directly into a vent mount. They can use while they are driving using GPS. A lot of laws have come to fruition that are hands off on your phone when you're driving. So
Wonderful.
making sure that we're responding to all of what's going on in the broader marketplace is really, really helpful in retaining customers, as well as having them come back, purchase new styles, purchase auxiliary products that can help them engage even further with their handle as well as their phone. I think beyond that too, you mentioned something really early on that is really critical to us is, you know, people can come to you with problems with your product. It's going to happen regardless. Some folks just are looking for something that's wrong. And that's okay, right? We want to hear from those people and we want to listen closely. And it's very easy to be dismissive of those things, but the more that you have your ears open, the more that you can serve those folks as you evolve your product and you build out auxiliary products. I think there's this theory that I learned from NBC that is called surprise and delight. So when somebody is frustrated and they are at their wit's end, they haven't gotten their product because delivery's late, they didn't get the color they wanted, what have you, making sure that not only do you solve their problem, but you also go above and beyond. We send out anything that a customer comes back with and says it was the wrong size, color, anything. I send it personally from our office, and I let them know that, right? We do have a warehouse that ships out product all the time, but making sure and ensuring personally that their products get to them exactly how they intended adds that layer of delight and that layer of personalization that I think people aren't getting anymore. So, making sure that you're doing that and really paying attention to those frustrated customers is very critical to retention.
Wow. So it's like going above and beyond, not just the product, but like constantly thinking about the end consumers. And I think that's like excellent because I think as a product company, like I think you all have built amazing products and I think people love them because of the aesthetic value that they give or the value that they add in their lifestyle or in their general day-to-day life. So I think that's a great piece of advice, I think, for any business out there that, okay, you have built a product, but keep on listening to your consumers all the time. Keep on absorbing and see where in the product roadmap, how you can incorporate that feedback and make your product great. So that's an excellent advice, I must say. My next question, it's kind of a very unique question. Let me see. You guys are into very, very unique verticals. As a piece of marketing, if let's say you have a brand partnership that you would like to do, like or you want to tie up with someone, for example, which brand would you like to kind of partner with? For example, a sports brand, or maybe in case of Adele, maybe the name that's come to my mind is, can Tour de France have e-bikes? I don't know, but like it's just a crazy thought that came to my mind because I think the brand partnerships can elevate the whole experience. Like in one of the panels, we had one of the speakers who are in the beauty space. Like the products that they have is in the beauty space, and somehow Venus Williams discovered their brand, and she become the part owner of that business. So like, what is that? It's like a hypothetical question, but if you want to partner with someone who is on the top of your list, maybe let me go to Tina.
If you're talking about a person or a brand,
Maybe a person.
I
Let's
think,
say a
yeah,
person as well as a brand. Whom would you like to go with?
as a brand, actually, like something I've been thinking about is I love to partner with the platform Cameo,
Okay.
because people give out these, Cameo shout outs with a video, and it's such a nice gift. But
Yeah.
imagine you can give somebody a, like an accessory or a jewelry, and you scan and it, plays back to Cameo. I thought that would be a
Wonderful.
pretty cool collaboration.
Great.
Yeah, but in terms of person, I think it would be more like a group of people. I've always wanted to find a group of women leaders, female leaders, and maybe, people like in every industry, like Oprah, Ariana Grande, people who like inspire and do a series of like strong women and in their handwriting and the word that represents them,
Yeah.
maybe like resilience or, change, something like that. And it would be like a series of handwriting of inspirational pieces from
Wow.
leaders.
Great,
Yeah.
great choice. I mean, that's a great choice because it truly resonates with the audience because I think people look up to all these brands and they learn. Let me go to Adele. And Adele, if one brand or one personality that you would like to kind of connect with or who would like to.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't have anything specific in mind, but going back to what Tina mentioned, a series,
Yeah.
one of the things that I've been thinking about is there's so many phenomenal, cyclists out there that have won tons of races across the
Yes.
world that are now retired. I'd
Yeah.
like to bring them out of retirement to do some sort of fun series with the e-bike to
Oh,
show the versatility of the e-bike and create more of a excitement on how an e-bike can help you ride no matter what age, right?
yeah.
And so that would be kind of a fun series to approach and to do. In terms of brands, our product is such a personal product to the consumer, right? They're riding it every day. They have this connection with the bike. It's an extension of their body, to put it lightly. And so being able to also offer them accessories and partnering with unique accessory brands to maybe amplify the brand. So maybe a custom helmet through a brand like Cali and others might be interesting to collaborate with.
Oh,
But those are just a few of the ideas that just came to my mind. But I hadn't really thought of this question, so thank you for prompting it.
yeah. Great. Amazing. How about you, Paige? Like, what
Yeah.
name come to your mind?
Yeah. So, our brand is extremely social, right? Your phone is your social life, especially right now.
Yeah.
So ultimately where we'd really love to be is partnering with social media companies. Particularly would love to, partner up with TikTok and their creator fund.
Yeah.
Not only because they tend to work with the folks who, we want to have a handle, we want to love handle, we want them to talk about it.
Yeah.
But also, they're doing a lot of gifting to those folks. I'm sure if, you guys watch, you can see tons of unboxing and things like that. Making sure that we're in the hands of as many people as possible. I think TikTok is able to scale and get in front of so many eyes right now. And that's exactly what we need. So,
Mhm.
Anybody knows anybody at TikTok, they're listening, feel free to reach out.
Great, great. Yeah, it's great. I mean, because the amount of impact it can have and the amount of value it can bring, it's tremendous. I think it can literally transform the whole experience when a personality or brand endorses, not just because I think because they coming on board is a very unique thing or an experience that the brand can have, but it can add a lot of value in terms of because people look up to Ariana Grande or Ariana Huffington or Oprah for that matter. And I still recall like uh, GoPro, for example, the brand that everyone loves. And I think they have been doing this like significantly, like as Adele mentioned also earlier, the user generated content. GoPro has become the top selling camera because of the way users started generating content for them and then wow, out of nowhere, they came into the limelight and now they are one of the greatest brands out there. So I think for different verticals, different techniques needs to be adopted. And I think these are some of the a growth hack technique that I kind of came across after doing a lot of research and realize how big impact it can literally amplify the brands and take it to the next level. While we are coming to an end of this panel, and the last question that I have for all of you, uh, there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there. There are a lot of people who want to enter into e-commerce or retail space, no matter what the vertical is. What is that one piece of advice that you would like to give them, probably from your own experience that you have implemented in your business that helped you in scaling up? So what is that one piece of advice that you would like to give to community in retail? Maybe let me go to Adele.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of important factors when you go into e-commerce or retail. This is not a space for the faint of heart, right?
Yeah.
There's so much to consider. But I think one critical piece of advice I would give is really use the data. Early on, you may not have a lot of data, but as you gather more data and accumulate more of that data, really listen and look at the data. Data really has tremendous insight to provide. And if you follow the data, you will inevitably be able to grow, be able to improve performance, be able to improve, conversion rates and the like. So I think that would be my best piece of advice is don't take the data for granted. Many a times we get so stretched thin, launching a new brand, getting those site up, and we lose sight of what's really happening with the consumers, and we're not looking at the metrics. And therefore we could be making decisions based off our own emotions and our feelings about the brand, not based on the consumer's response and the data and what it's telling us.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great. Let me go to Paige, your one piece of advice that you would like to give to budding entrepreneurs.
Yeah, for sure. So now I'm kind of in a more attractive industry, but I used to be a plumbing and flooring buyer, and then a fabric and yarn buyer and merchandiser. Don't be afraid of getting into an area that is not sexy. Folks are often looking for products that meet their needs, that are functional. You can offer them an exceptional experience that they won't get anywhere else, but don't be afraid to explore different industries that maybe don't seem as attractive to you. They can be pretty lucrative, and you can offer an experience that far surpasses anybody in the market right now.
Wonderful, that's great. Tina, what's your one piece of advice from the decade of experience that you have that they can take and implement and help them?
Yeah, I would say don't go for perfection. Start with the MVP and minimally viable product and reiterate from there. Like really use the data, listen to the customer. And in fashion, I think historically there's been a lot of, more creatives that are more into designs, and they're like, this is the design I like, and you're going to like it, So I think with the benefit of e-commerce is that you do have a lot of data at hand. And, and you know a lot more about your customers than traditional retail environment where, people are walking in and buying stuff, but they're gone, so I think that is one of the key benefits of being in the direct to consumer space, and that you can really leverage this data to make decisions and, never take, like, I hear so many people just like, oh, Facebook just doesn't work for me, or search doesn't work for me. It's not that it doesn't work for you, some component of it doesn't work for you. So right. It's reiterating and optimizing, constant optimization, I would say.
Wonderful. Excellent. I must say, this has been an excellent panel discussion today with all three of you. I think you have touched upon some very, very unique things related to e-commerce, retail, and the verticals that you are operating in. And if I have to summarize, I think what you have mentioned about the data-driven approach by listening to the consumer feedback and constantly evolving over a period of time, and making sure that your product is helping the end consumers all the time, and how it can add value to their life, how it can evoke emotions. And that's when your consumers become your brand ambassadors, and that's the amazing thing that can happen for a brand. And I think if a business is able to implement all these things, I think great things can happen. And I think I would really like to take this opportunity once again for taking out time today and sharing these amazing stories and insights of what you're doing. I think a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses will get a chance to learn a lot from your experiences. And we would love to learn more about what you do. And uh, so thank you so much, Tina, for joining us on the panel today. Adele, thank you so much once again. Despite the fact that you're ill, you kind of took time and joined. I'm really, really happy for that. And thank you so much once again. Uh, Paige, kudos to the excellent work that you are doing. And as you mentioned that point, like, don't be afraid to do, like, enter into uncharted territory. And I think if you have faith, you can do great things. So excellent. I think uh, you all have been phenomenal today. I'll be in touch. I'll be sharing the panel discussion recording with all of you. And we look forward to hosting you again. And probably at that time, we may touch upon a different topic altogether. Thank you so much. You have a great week ahead and take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Ladies,
Thank
it was a pleasure. I learned a lot from both of you.
Yes,
Yes.
you too. It was amazing.
Here.
Thank you. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much once again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.